joining us for the final time this season. Maybe not the final time ever, because when he wins a Super Bowl, he will also be a part of Sports Plus, Brady Cook. Brady, congratulations. How are you today?
Oh, doing well. Just recovering, enjoying the last few days with the fam, and just reflecting a little bit.
Let's go back in time. 5 years ago, when you arrive at Mizzou from Chaminade High School, where are you on the depth chart? And did you ever say to yourself, how the heck am I going to get on the field one day?
Yeah, definitely. I showed up in January of 2020, and I'd say probably 4 or 5 on the depth chart, pretty far down there. And I mean, I knew it'd be a long journey. There'd be a lot of competitions, a lot of ups and downs, and winning that job and finding a way on the field. And as those first 2 years went by, I just kept chipping away at it.
So people don't realize this, but Barry Odom actually recruited you. I'm wondering what your first conversation was like with Coach Drink.
Well, actually, he texted me, I think the day he got hired, really just welcomed me. He's like, I'm excited to have you as the quarterback in our class. I'm going to come by Chaminade today and see you. And he came by Chaminade. I was in theater class, I think. And he pulled me outside, and we chopped it up for about 10, 15 minutes at Chaminade. And that was our first time talking, first time really meeting each other. So, I still remember it like it was yesterday.
All right, let's move ahead. Coach revealed this week before the bowl game that you actually played the South Carolina game with a broken bone in your wrist. I'm wondering, how did you throw that incredible ball to Luther Burden? You actually had a really good game against the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a battle. I mean, in college football, playing at this level, you're always going to have stuff you're dealing with. Unfortunately, yeah, mine was in my throwing wrist, if you want to call it that, and it's always unfortunate. But at the same time, we had a great plan to keep it protected. Had a great plan to find a way to get on the field and still be at my best that game. Man, that was a fun game, and that was a crazy finish.
All right, let's talk about the Music City Bowl game. You go 18 of 32, nearly 300 yards. You run for over 50. I'm wondering, is this the best game you ever played as a Tiger? And it's amazing what you can do when you're actually healthy, huh?
Yeah, as a Tiger, I don't know. I think that'd be tough. I think there was a couple there in 2023 where I was rolling pretty good, but this year I think absolutely. I got my legs back. I felt confident. Had a ton of fun out there. I was spinning it around, and the offense was just honestly flowing really great. I know we never really got the run game going, but that's what Iowa does. That's what they go against in the Big Ten. 2 tight ends under center running the football. So I thought we had a great game plan. Coach Moore called a great game, and it was just really nice being healthy and confident again back out there.
So what kind of role did you have in the recruiting of Bo Prabula? He's an outstanding young quarterback from Penn State. Give us the backstory. What'd you do when he came to Columbia with him?
Yeah, my role was pretty limited, but I spent some time with him out at practice, before and after practice. He watched a full practice during bowl prep. And then I also just, answered some of his questions. He texted me. We spent a little bit of time in the facility while he was there. And yeah, I mean, he seems like an awesome guy. I know I've watched some of his games this year when he's gone in and made some big time plays. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your schedule moving forward. First of all, do you have your master's degree and then you're going to start working with Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach? Take me through what's going on with you in terms of all-star games also.
Yeah, so I do. I do have my master's degree. I actually got that in May of 24, so this past May. And then, as we embark on this pre-NFL draft process, I'll be working with Bobby Stroop on the physical side, and Justin Hoover will be my quarterback coach, really based in KC. So I'll still be close to home, and first things first, I will be playing in the Hula Bowl. Actually, coming up, I actually report on January 6th, so that's pretty quick. And then the game's played, I think, on January 11th. So that's kind of that first step, and we really go from there. It's going to be a long but fun process.
Is there a quarterback in the league right now that you say, you know what, I have a similar skill set, or somebody you really like to watch?
Yeah, I mean, the easy guy to point out is probably Patrick Mahomes. I watch him. He's changed the game forever. I truly believe, maybe one of the best quarterbacks, probably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. I like watching Josh Allen. I like I like the way he runs the ball. I like the way he makes plays. He's tough. I like Jordan Love. That's a new guy I've been watching this season, a little bit last year. I think he's incredible. I love watching him. So, the first three guys that came to mind were those three right there.
I know people in St. Louis would selfishly like you to play for the Battlehawks, but that's not even in the back of your mind. It's the NFL, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play in the NFL. That's the Premier League. That's the goal, and that's what we're shooting for.
All right, so only Mizzou quarterback to start 4 bowl games, third all-time in passing yards, but I imagine the stat that you love the most is second all-time in wins for a starting Mizzou quarterback. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean that means everything. I think at the end of the day, winning football games is the most important thing. That's the legacy you leave behind. That's what's going to be remembered. That's what makes changes in cultures within programs. That's what makes changes in the new stadium developments within programs. I think winning games solves a lot of problems, and that's how you're remembered. So that's definitely probably the most important thing that I can be appreciative and proud of.
Yeah, what about the statement this week by Coach Drink that we probably wouldn't have the North End project if it were not for Brady Cook and Luther Burden III?
Yeah, I think it comes back to the group of leaders that came back after the 22 season and chose to come back for that 23 season and put it all together. Darius Robinson, Javon Foster, Tyron Hopper, Cody Schrader, all of those guys. And what we did in 23 carried over, and that culture was sustained. And I truly do think that class and then this past class that played their last game versus Iowa made a huge difference.
Final thought, your career is going to be defined by perseverance and toughness. For a stretch early in your career, it was tough. You got through it, and I imagine in the end you're happy you had to go through it because now you can tackle anything in life.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, I look at my 5 years at Mizzou, and I really wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't. 2020, 2021, 2022, those first 3 years were hard. But at the same time, those 3 years, that's where I learned the most. Learned the most about myself. Learned the most about college football, how it works. I learned how teams uh, should operate, shouldn't operate. I learned all of it. And then kind of putting it together in 2023 and 2024, my last 2 years, and having the opportunity to win 21 games, seeing both sides of college football, the success, the failure. I wouldn't change a thing. It's taught me so much, and just looking back, I'm grateful for it all.